Can you still take a U.S. business model and recreate it in China?
As long as you do it appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
What's
same.
that mean?
So the same
Localize
basic
it?
needs there. So you can look at Baidu, which DFJE Planet funded, right? So Baidu does, search. People like to want to find things on the internet, so you do search. But if you look at how Baidu conducts its business and how Google conducts its business, they're actually very, very different. And they're satisfying the same basic needs, but how you actually, implement that is quite different.
Glenn, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time thinking about that question. And again, given our model where we have visibility into what's going on, clear visibility in what's going on in both markets, we see a lot of companies that, fill in the blank. I want to be the blank of China,
Right.
and pointing to successful U.S. companies. And I would agree with Richard. China is different, so you can learn a lot from what's happened in the U.S. typically, and it's very informative when you think about what the strategy ought to be in China. But because China's much bigger than the U.S., there's regional differences. Everything moves much more rapidly in China. You see a lot of innovation that takes a long time to occur in the U.S. that happens fast in China. So your model better be well adapted for the local market. We try, one example in a company in our portfolio that you highlight in profile in Silicon Dragon called Tudou, for example, takes the model that was popularized by YouTube and has adapted that model for the Chinese market. And things are moving very rapidly there. Growth in broadband penetration and demand for online video is very high, but it's not just user-generated. It's semi-professional and professional licensed content. And so, we had to adapt that model, not just look at what happened and what worked for YouTube, but make sure that it was well adapted to the China market, and so far so good on a company like that, for example.
Right, yeah, and I'm hearing Tudou may go public within 3 years, or that's at least what Gary Wang is predicting, and I spoke with Victor Ko last evening of Youku, and he's telling me 2 years for an IPO of his video sharing site. So video sharing is a very hot area in China.